Well, something pretty groundbreaking happened recently, and not a lot of people are talking about it for whatever reason.
What?
And it is that Wisconsin defensive back Xavier Lucas left Wisconsin and is now going to play at Miami.
Yeah.
But he didn't enter the portal because Wisconsin refused to put him in it. They were having a revenue sharing contract dispute.
Yep.
And so Wisconsin said, yeah, you ain't transferring. He's like, watch me. He did not go in the portal. He just left and went to Miami.
Yeah, the portal had already closed, right? There were portal windows. So you can see it where a guy goes, hey, I'm making my intent to transfer, but you can't until the portal window. He just said, I'm leaving, and Wisconsin's like, no, you're not. He signs, and they're like, we're not letting you out of your agreement. Miami's like, whatever, we'll take you. So Wisconsin gets all pissy, calls the NCAA, and is like, what the hell? And the NCAA comes out and says, there's really no such thing as the portal. And like reporters were asking the NCAA about this, and the NCAA basically admitted that the portal isn't a real thing. They said, well, we don't really have any way to enforce it, and it's just more of a, it's more of an, yeah, they went, oh. So according to now the NCAA, the transfer portal doesn't exist. You can leave whenever the hell you want.
What? So
what are we doing?
The way he's getting around it is he did not formally sign with Miami. So what he did was he just left.
Yeah.
He withdrew from classes at Wisconsin, and he is enrolled academically at Miami, but he did not formally sign with Miami, and so that means he skirts the transfer rules. So he's enrolled for the fall, and he's going to reclassify to spring 2025. Freaking brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I wonder if more kids are going to do this.
Well,
although not a lot of them are in conflict with their school like this.
But the fact that the NCAA came out and basically said that the transfer portal isn't a real thing. What? I consider me just a moron then, because I thought this thing was like steadfast, that there were like real rules in place about when and where and all that. Apparently the NCAA is saying no, there's not.
The other thing this is going to do is it's going to make the rules will come fast.
It has to.
About enforcing and signing and the rules behind these revenue sharing agreements.
Yeah.
In other words, the pay for play. Because Wisconsin may have a leg to stand on here. They're saying, hey, wait a minute. We signed you. You signed this.
Yeah.
This is what we agreed to. And so breaking that agreement, that's going to trigger litigation from Wisconsin. Well, it will. I mean, they're pissed off. They're like, wait a minute, you can't just sign and leave.
But he'll be like, well, that's fine. I don't want whatever you're offering anyways, so see you later.
Yeah, and well, by him not signing with Miami, they really can't stop him. That's
right.
That's the genius of it.
And that's like if you sign a contract to be a coach somewhere and you're like, I'm not going to coach this team anymore. Well, you might not be able to just hop to the next job right away, but you can certainly leave that one.
He's claiming that the school left him in purgatory because they weren't talking to him. They weren't communicating to him. So he's saying, well, I had to leave because I didn't know what to do.
I had to leave. I am all for the transfer portal. I'm all for NIL because for years, and I hate when Nick Saban and these guys come out and then they rattle their sabers about how awful it is now. Meanwhile, for years and years, coaches could get whatever the hell they wanted, leave whenever they wanted. And now that the players can do it, now it's the end all to be all. But some of this stuff is completely out of control. And the NCAA just now throwing up their hands and saying there's nothing we can do about it. And this stems from, remember when Tennessee and Virginia that sued the NCAA? And the NCAA came out and said, there will be no more NIL investigations because we can't hold up in court. So we're just doing away with it. And at that point, the floodgates are open. You can do whatever you wanted, pay for play, any sort of agreement. And we're like, all right, well, all the guardrails are off. But now we're finding out that the guardrails aren't off. There's just no structure. There's no transfer portal. You can leave. You can leave whenever the hell you want. And the NCAA is like, there's nothing we can do about it because they know they'll lose.
Yeah, but I don't see a lot of kids doing this because they don't have to. Like they're not fighting with most of the schools are like, okay, fine, leave. And it's the portal is the easiest way to get found.
Yes.
Because once you enter it, that's where everybody's doing the business. So it behooves you to go into the portal.
It's the forum for it.
Yes, but if you have issues with your school, you technically don't need the portal, which is
No.
amazing.
No, you don't.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, just the next time someone says that if this is really the wild, wild west as it appears to be, in the NCAA saying, I'll find the response, by the way, I'm looking for it. Like it's alarming what the NCAA said. But there are people that are saying, in theory, you could leave 3 games into the season and just go and roll somewhere else and play and be like, go ahead and try to stop me, NCAA. Because as long as there isn't employment contracts saying that you are tied here, antitrust laws would seemingly, and this is what the NCAA is saying, seemingly prevents them from doing anything. I know it's a slippery slope, and I don't like to do that. Well, if this happened, this could happen. But in theory, right now, according to the NCAA statement, you could play 2 games at Oregon and be like, nah, I don't like this. And then play the next week at the University of Washington and then play Oregon. Like that's the sort of Pandora's box that we're getting in here. And
I'd love to see it.
Something has to change. There has to be some.
You would think they'd invoke some sort of rule that you can't play for 2 different schools within a certain period of time.
Yeah, we got to pull a Spicoli. We left this England place because it was bogus. If we don't get some cool rules ourselves, we're just going to be bogus too. Yeah?
Who's the Expos guy who played for 2 teams in one day?
Yeah,
He played for the Mets, I think.
Yeah, I
Got
remember
traded.
that. But it was like because of like a delay in the game.
Was it like Tim Wallach?
Something like that. Yeah, he played for
both teams.
Played for both teams
on the same day.
Yeah, and you may actually have that happening, which would be hilarious.